It'd be an interesting conversation to have with your parents these days, wouldn't it, in terms of what was it like back when you had to apply for your first loan? Because you can just imagine they're in their Sunday best.
Please, Mr. Bank Manager.
I'll get a loan.
Please, Mr. Bank Manager.
But it's a bit more scientific now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is these days. There's a lot more information out there, and it really comes down to the 5 C's, doesn't it, Bryce?
It does, and the first one of those C's is largely around capacity, and that's the easiest one to remember. Do you have enough sort of profile for the bank to be comfortable that you can actually pay this loan back? In terms of, do you have a full-time employment, or on the opposite side of the spectrum, are you casual, which makes them a bit more nervous? And equally, have you been in your job for 5 or 10 years? Or have you been in for 5 minutes?
Yeah, and I think that's where the sort of the character comes into play. So they're sort of saying, well, this is a 30-year loan. So, you know, how stable have you been in your employment, and how stable have you been in housing? I mean, if you've lived in 6 houses in 6 months, they're going to say, are you really ready for a 30-year or a 25-year loan term? Probably not.
But in terms of the third C, is it's collateral, and it's largely, do you have enough security? Do you have other assets, whether it's a cash deposit or whether it's some other real estate or other sort of assets that you've got to give them that comfort that they're not going to be exposed?
Now, the fourth one is condition. So different lenders have different credit policies. So we're talking about things like different loan to value ratios. Now, a loan to value ratio is the level of borrowing you get against the value of that property, just as an example. So this is all the credit policy stuff that they look at to assess risk.
And Ben, that sort of brings us to that final C, which is a catch-all really, it's common sense.
So let's say you've got an IT professional who's been working around the globe and really high profile. They haven't been here long enough, so is that character? Well, they sort of take a common sense approach to that and approve the loan.
So there you go, Ben. There's the 5 C's to building your wealth and getting a loan so that you can get your portfolio and create some wealth with property.